And finally, in Chapter 8, the market for nursing services is yet another input, right? In the formula, it's just another type of worker that we have. We have different types of nurses. We have RNs, LPNs, some others, I'm sure. They all have different levels of what they can do, and they get paid accordingly. And it is a key component of the final output of healthcare. And it's key. Well, it's key for the delivery, and it's also key because it's one way, we believe is one way that we can lower the cost of healthcare is by using more nurses to aid for in certain certain procedures and in certain different capacities. They can bring the cost down instead of using a more expensive employee. And at the same time, so that's great, and it's also going to create a higher demand for advanced level, advanced type of nurses, and we know that the employment outlook for nursing is very good right now. We see that statistically, but we also see it in the enrollment in nursing schools. We see that is in fact happening. I have a little table here that shows the number of nurses. As you can see, the number of nurses is increasing in total numbers, but we also see a very clear that per 100,000, compare 1970s to 2009. As you can see, the number of nurses per 100,000 has more than double, and that is very good news. We need a lot of nurses. Some of the things that I said about nurses applied. Some of the things that I said about physicians apply to nurses as well, especially when it comes to the education, when it comes to immigration law, etc., etc. We need more nurses. And finally, we have the dental market, which we're not going to talk about in this course, but is itself an entire other market it has a lot of similarities to the more broad, the broadly speaking hospital market and the physician market. It's of course very interesting, but again, we're not going to talk much about it. Great job outlook for it. There's more and more demand for dental work, especially with those baby boomers. They need more and more care for their teeth because they're getting older. They live longer. They need more care. So those are good news. Those are good news for the dentists, the dentist practices, and that is also a number that we see increasing over time. Used to be 47 per 100,000, is now around 60 and growing. Yeah, it seems to be stable around 60, but I believe it's growing again. I could be wrong about that, but it is great job outlook. Dental markets is like any other market, as I mentioned. It depends on price, it depends on income, preferences, access. So it depends on supply and demand. Nothing new there. What is interesting and different than other medical markets is the out-of-pocket expenses. Much higher than medical expenses, much higher. On average, is around 42%. And you know that because you go to the dentist and you end up paying out of pocket a lot more money than when you go to a hospital. In some other things being equal, it depends on what you were talking about, but in general, you pay a very large portion as out of pocket. And the reason for that is just because dental insurance is not as rich as health insurance, right? That's kind of like how we talk about it. There's not much there, and one of the reasons is because most of the dental care that we receive, it's what we call elective. It's in many cases it's cosmetic. So insurance companies don't like. We like it because we can make money, but we don't want to offer higher care, richer care, because we know there's a drive for for in dental consumption, there's a drive due to cosmetic reasons, and we don't like that. So we need to control that. How do we do that? By making sure that we limit the amount the amount of things you can use your insurance for of treatments, and we also have very high out-of-pocket cost, the cost share and deductibles. So we know that richer dental insurance will just lead to much higher demand for dental. That's why you won't see dental insurance getting any better anytime soon. Thank you.